I had a quick question regarding the cheat sheet. At least
Yeah.
for my class, there's a cheat sheet. What do you think we should put on the cheat sheet? Like, what do you recommend in order to best prepare for the exam? I believe it's like two-sided, correct?
Uh-huh. I
And
think
like we can type it as long as it's our own typing.
yeah, so two things I would put on there is either one, some sort of syntax that you really just like you struggle with remembering, like maybe when you're doing if statements, you forget to put the colon at the end, things like that. And two, um, if you have the book, there's some like example problems that I would like copy because they might help you a lot. So those two are the biggest things, honestly.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right. Um, Okay, we're just gonna look at question one. And the way this is gonna go is I'm gonna put the problem on my screen. Everyone's gonna try to do it. And after say like 5 minutes or 7 minutes, we'll just go over it. And people can share the screen if they want to share their work. Okay. So there is hella people. This is shocking. Okay, there we go. Can everyone see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, parking lot charges 20 for the first 3 hours and $5 for each additional hour in the first day for the 24 hours and $3 for each additional hour after the 24 hours. So try to like model some sort of program after this. I'm gonna give it like 7 minutes. I hope that's enough for you guys. So just go on PyCharm and try to do it yourselves. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know and I'll try to guide you. Okay.
Is it fine if we just try on OneNote or something just to like mimic the condition of the
Yeah.
exam?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's actually really smart. Good on you.
Yeah. Okay. So remember. Okay. Um, these into the park hours too. Sorry, I'll mute myself. My bad. Can you zoom in?
Oh, is that better, Mario, or no?
Yeah. Thank
I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes and then you guys tell me like where you're at, okay? All right, are we all good? Does anyone need more time?
Me.
Is, you said yes or no?
Yeah, I need more time.
Okay, okay. I'll give you like 3 more minutes and then, okay, great. Hey Kyle, we're just going over some of the questions that your professors gave you for review. So if you want to just try to do this problem, it's right there on screen. Are we good now? Is everyone good, or at least got started with the problem? So we can go over it.
We can go over. I haven't finished, but we can go over.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. Does anyone want to share their screen or like show what they've done so far?
I could. I'm
I would
just
love.
like printing the thing.
Okay.
Print. I mean, I haven't completed fully, but I'm completing it right now. Can you allow screen share?
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm doing this without like PyCharm.
Hey,
So,
that's great. Are you allowed to share screen right now or no? Does it let you?
not no.
Okay. I think if I make you a co-host. Okay. How about now?
Yes. Yes. So, okay. By the way, like I just need to change these two. It's just like automatically capitalizing the start of it.
Uh, I don't think it is capitalized. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, no, yeah, because on OneNote it automatically capitalized the.
Yeah, it's probably just autocorrect, but I don't think it'll do that in the exam, so you should be chilling.
Anyways, and then print. I'm doing print, and the outputs was, I don't remember like here. I'm just gonna write here is the fee.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do not know if you want to concatenate it, but I can do concatenated and then total fee. And then here I have to correct it because it automatically does it.
Okay.
And I forgot the colon here. Yeah, should be good. But yeah.
Okay. So from what I see, I think you had definitely the right idea.
Mhm.
I first thing I like is that you made constants. Always remember to do that. If you have a number in any problem, or like you know it's gonna stay the same, do what Mario did. So that's definitely right. Input, great, asking for hours. I think for the print statement, I don't know if you've gone over this. There's something called an F string. Do you remember that at all or no?
Yeah, he said for us that F strings are not going to be in the exam.
Okay, okay. Then I think you would just do. I don't think you concatenate. I think you do comma total fee. I think,
Yeah.
and it would work. Comma space. There we go. So yeah, I think that works pretty well. Do you think you can try?
Running it.
Yeah, in PyCharm. I was gonna ask that if you could.
Yeah, so I can just. Yeah, my bad. Probably should have just put in PyCharm. Yeah.
I have a question, Jesus.
Huh?
So actually, are we gonna go over like the official answers that you have, like the
My answer.
like the problem answer in the right way?
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Gotcha.
We will in like a few minutes.
Yeah. My apologies for not. Yeah,
No problem, man. No one was sharing screen, so like.
have it. What's gonna go here? Quick search. Just let me. Shit, I forgot that in Python you can't do that. Okay. Let me just control this. And then I think through this to fix the main because it's not main. Okay, it's a good start. That's not giving me errors.
Of course.
So,
Hey, the syntax is great.
okay.
Alright, yeah, try to do in like one of the sample outputs. So you could write like for park hours, you could write like 30, for example.
Yeah. By the way, does the semicolon need to be there?
Definitely not. You don't do that in Python. I should have said that. Yeah, you don't need semicolons in Python. Yeah.
So what number you want me to enter?
Put in 20.
20.
Yeah. Alright, what you got?
Yeah, so 20. That's seems so it's 20. So that would mean
It should be 105.
105.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
wait, 3 fee 20, 20, then 5.
I can go over it now if you want.
Yeah, this should be
Okay.
105.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's actually more of like some of these questions, the thing is, they're more of like a math thing than a Python thing, because like everything you wrote looks pretty good to me. But this is how you would do the problem, or one of the ways to do them. So what I did at the start, obviously, you have other rates, which you did. Great job, Mario. Initial hour, secondary hour. And again, kind of like you did, it's just a lot of comparing. So if the hour is less than the initial hour, which is 3, which is literally what the problem says, if you read the problem statement, a parking lot charges 20 for the first 3 hours. So if the number I put is under 3, then price is just gonna be initial rate, right? It's just gonna be 20. Does that make sense so far?
I got that error.
Okay.
Essentially for the seconds, for the if statements, I did hours times the hour fee, which is incorrect. Because if
Yeah.
I get 20,
Yeah.
it will double count the hours. So I had to subtract the 3 from the hours. So now if I run it again, should work. Yeah, and it works. But yeah, that was the math problem. It was the math thing. So
Yeah,
thank you.
no, it happens a lot that like at the start you might have some issues with the math more than like the syntax or the code. Especially for like the first exam. So be careful of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, second one is if it's between 4 and 24 hours, right? So you're just adding that initial rate to whatever you have that's under 24, multiplying that by 5. And then the final one is just calculating if it's over 24 hours, where it charges you $3. And I know the formula seems a little confusing, but it's like pretty similar. That makes sense. Does anyone have any questions? I know it looks like a lot of just variables, but it just helps make it a little bit more understandable.
I wonder if you can go into more detail in the if statements, the if, elif, and else. I'm
Yes.
confused about.
Okay, so the way if statements work is if something meets a certain condition.
No, I know. I
Okay.
mean, like what you did in the problem. Like
Like the
what it
equation
means.
part?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
the first one I understand well, but the
Yeah,
second one,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So the second one, it's telling you, and sometimes you can use the sample outputs for some of these. So the second one is telling you parking lot charges $20 for the first 3 hours. That's always gonna be true, right? You're always gonna be charged 20 if it's over 3 hours, which is why we have the initial rate variable right here, right? So we know, say hours here, you have, I don't know, say you have 20, for example. You already know because it passed those first 3 hours, you're gonna be charged that initial $20, right? Because that's what the problem says. And then it's telling you after those 3 hours, I'm charging you $5 for every additional hour in that first day. So that's why you're subtracting. That's why you're subtracting hours minus initial hour, right? Because for the first 3 hours, I'm charging you $20, right? And then when I'm multiplying by 5, which is the amount that's gonna be like after those 3 hours, I don't want to include those initial 3 because I'm charging you 20. Does that kind of make sense? Like, say I had 20 here, I'm subtracting by 17 because the rate would be 17 times 5 plus that initial 20. And that would be like a total of 20 hours. You kind of get it. It helps if you like it kind of helps if you like try with an example, right?
Yeah. Okay.
We have to put everything in constants.
Not usually. If it's a number you're gonna use more than once, it's good syntax to just like make it a constant. But if I just had like a 24 and I only used it once, no, you don't need a constant for that.
Like how many constants we have to put, or is you gonna like take off points because we didn't use enough constants?
I don't think they'll take off points, like crazy points, if you like put 24. But for example, for this problem, if I put like 20 here instead of initial hour, he might take off points because you're using this how many times? 1, 2, 3, literally 4 times, you know? So
Okay,
that case I would.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. If I use it for like 2 times, it's not a big deal, right?
No, it's not a big deal. Definitely not a big deal. But just remember with problems like these where you have like equations, the best thing to do is grab one of these and try to use it as an example to like figure out if your equation's working. And I think that should help a lot. Are we all good with this problem? Yes. I'll take that as a yes, because there's like 4 more. All right. 1 second. This one's pretty similar to the one we did. Okay. All right. So this is question number 2. I'm gonna give you guys like 10 minutes and I'm gonna leave it at 10 because I think we're a little behind schedule. Basically, a parking lot charges $15 per hour. Ask the user to enter how much money he/she wants to pay and show the number of hours the user can park and how much money left. So just think about what kind of operation you would perform on this because it's pretty much a math problem. Okay, so I'll time it.
Can you submit the prompt in the chat?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna time it 10 minutes. Okay. Okay. There you go. There's the prompt.
Thanks. I had a question. How do you use the F string in order to like add a decimal?
Hold on. You would do whatever variable you have, right? Afterwards. Okay, I'm gonna just send something in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, so something like this. Do you see what I sent? So number would be the variable. And
Got
yeah,
And so dots to F, what does that mean? So dots,
0.2 means 2 decimal places. F means it's of type float or type double, basically.
got it.
Yeah.
And are we approximating downward or upward?
Based on the problem, I would say you have to approximate downwards.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Oh, okay. So what we're gonna do now is I'll be doing it from the ground up and you guys can like comment and things. And hopefully that'll help explain it a little better. Okay, so based on what we have, does anyone know how you would start approaching this problem at all? Any ideas at
I
all?
would start with like I did money equals float input, and then I just said please enter the money you want to pay.
There we go. That's a good start, definitely. All right. Anyone else know what else we might need to figure this problem out?
The constant,
Yes,
our
what constant would you be using?
I tend to use like the bottom slash our
Mhm.
bottom fee, our fee.
Our
Um,
fee. Oh yeah, that'd be, you're right, constant. Perfect. Exactly. Our fee 15. This is great so far. Because that's the number that's always changing, right? They're always gonna charge you 15 per hour. And we know that. All right, so what do we need to do next? We already have the hour fee and we have the amount of money that you're putting in there. So now we just need these two things, right? The number of hours the user can park and how much money they'll have left. So how would you, like, think about it mathematically, how would you get the hours based on the amount of money you have and how much they're charging you per hour? Does anyone know how you would do that? Like, say I was there for, say I had like like the problem says, say I had $100, how would I get 6 hours from this?
Just divide the amount of money you put in by the hour fee.
Here we go. You see? There we go. Perfect. So we can call this whatever. Hours. Oh, sorry. Money divided by fee. All right, this looks good to me so far. Then the last thing we have is how do we figure out how much money we have left after we give them any sort of cash, right? How do we get the $10? Anyone have any idea? Or it's okay if you don't. It's a little confusing.
You use the percent sign, which is a remainder.
All right, you guys don't even need my help, bro. What are you doing here? Exactly. You would use the percent sign. So say I had remainder, money, an hour fee. All right, and then we can just print. I guess I'll do a string. You can park. Hours with left. All right. So if I run this, what do you guys think I'm gonna get? Say I put money's 100, right? What would I be getting? All right, we can run it. Here's the one problem. Remainder's definitely right. You're gonna get the $10 left. We know that. We all know how the remainder operator works. But for hours, we need to remember that they're charging specifically 15 per hour, right? So if you can't meet that, you just can't have like, they're not gonna give you like 6 hours and 30 minutes, right? They're gonna limit it. So what you would do here is floor division, which basically rounds down. If I don't have a 7, it's gonna round this decimal to a 6. Does that make sense? That's the one thing that you would have to change. And then you can park 6 hours with $10 left. Is that clear for everyone? Oh, I see chat.
Sorry, could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah. So this floor division operator, what it does is it rounds down whatever decimal you have. Yeah, it just rounds it down, right? So if I had like 6.7, it would round that down to 6. Does that kind of make sense? Like the difference is literally just there's hours without me doing anything. You get 6.66667, right? But if you were with this problem, you wouldn't be able to like park for 6.6 hours. You're always gonna have to round down. So if you put 2 of these, it's gonna round it down for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. I think I got a question. Hold on. Is final sum remaining equals budget? Remaining equals. I think that works, Mario, what you sent me, but I would use I mean, it's just easier for you to use the modulus operator. Because it's just gonna do that like automatically for you. But yeah, are both of those operators clear to everyone? I'm just making sure because I know I had some issues with the modulus one when I did Python. Because sometimes it can get a little confusing. No? Okay. All right, we'll just keep going to question number 3 now. Which should be easier, okay? There's just some math questions, but after that, it gets way easier. Trust me. Okay. Let me share my screen again. All right, so this is question number 3. I'm gonna give you guys again 10 minutes. And then we'll go over it again.
Can you post into the chat as well?
Oh
Please.
yeah, sorry. Yep, my bad.
I had a question. Does the len function turn the character into like an integer, right?
Does the length function turn what? Say that one more time, sorry.
Does the len function turn the numbers of characters into integers?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes and then we'll go over it. All right, are we all set to maybe start doing this problem?
Can we have a little bit more time, just like?
Yeah, yeah, okay, let's say 3 minutes and then we can go over it.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, are we good now? It's okay if you need more time, by the way. It's no rush.
We're good.
Yeah, okay,
Mhm.
okay. All right, so does anyone have any idea how they would approach this one to start off with? Can be anything.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So should I change my screen or should I just say it?
You can say it. I think it's easier that way.
So first I do the input statement. I assign the string variable and I put like the sentence, please enter blah blah blah. And then I do if statement and then I say if len string. So if the len of the string is not equal to 7, which is exclamation point equal sign, then I say print please enter again. It didn't say what to put, I just said please enter again.
Mhm.
And then I did elif the len of the string. So len string double equal sign is equal to 7. Then I
Mhm.
put correct answer equals a string and then this slicing, so I put it in brackets and then I put 2 semicolon 5
Mhm.
and then the last line was print correct answer dot over parentheses.
Okay. So what you said sounds great, especially the slicing. I really like that. And the if statement could work for sure. Now, one thing I would say that would make it easier is, have you guys gotten over loops at all?
Yeah, so were we supposed to use a loop there?
You
I
don't
just
have to.
didn't.
You don't have to. If you get the, keep in mind, if you get the right answer,
Yeah, I tried it.
yeah, then it works, right?
Mhm.
But usually the problem will give you kind of like context clues to like make it easier for you. So if this
I
says,
have,
yeah,
oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I have a different one that I use the break and continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you wanted to share afterwards, yeah.
All right, yeah, we can share it right after I do this. Okay, you can do that. Because
Okay. So are you saying that if we see that that line, it said keep asking, we kind of like intuitively should think while loop?
exactly, there we go.
Okay.
Exactly, because it's telling you like if it's wrong, keep asking it, right? So what you want is basically what you said. So a length of word is not equal to 7, right? That's kind of what you told me with the if statement. So if it isn't, then I want to ask it again. Give me the word, right? Yeah. And everything else you said sounds like it's literally the right answer. You slice with 2 to 5. I'm just gonna go over that a little bit more just in case anyone isn't clear. So for those that don't know, hold on, let me new share. See this. All right. So this is how slicing works. As you all might know or might not, each letter in a string is tied to a certain index, right? So for P, that would be index 0. Ignore my handwriting. It's so bad. Right. Do you guys get this? Does that kind of make sense to you guys? P is tied to 0, Y is tied to 1, right? Does that kind of make sense? So what Tiardi did is basically she sliced part of it. She picked from 2 to index 5. So from this string, I'm picking T all the way to H because it's 3 and O. So I'm picking the middle 3. That's essentially what she did, which is definitely right. So this is what you want to do. The reason it doesn't include 5 is because it's not whatever number you put at the end of that slicing, it's not including it, right? So if I put 2 to 6, it would go all the way to 5. If I put 2 to 5, it would go all the way to 4. So that's what she did, which is definitely right. So good job. Okay, let me share the Python one again. Hold on. There we go. All right. So back to the problem. Length of word, and then we just print F. Final string is word 2 to 5. Then I believe we do dot upper, right? So we do dot upper. That's just a method that'll make everything uppercase. Is everyone clear with that? Oh, If I just put Python. There we go. Final string is THO. Is everyone clear with this example of slicing?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to use like an increment statement which stop the loop, or that doesn't apply to this case?
It doesn't apply to this case because the condition that's ending the loop is if the length of the word is 7, right?
Right.
That's the only reason why you wouldn't use an increment. You would use an increment if I had like while I is less than 4, right?
Okay.
Then yeah, exactly. But since this condition is more like based on whatever input you put, you don't really need to increment anything. Yeah.
So that's a complete code. We don't need anything else.
It looks too, that's what I told you that like this is
It looks
easier than doing-
simple, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So anytime it talks about keeping, like keep asking, think, okay, I need to use a loop for this. And it gives you the condition. Keep asking the user to enter if the length is not 7. So right there, you already have the full statement. Mario, you can share now if you want to share what you did.
Yeah, just one sec. I'm copying down what you.
Okay.
Can you just like Control A, Control C, and put in the chat?
Yes, I can do that. I'm sorry, I should have been doing that.
No worries.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, someone asked a question. What is the? Oh, someone answered. Okay. The double equals means that it's like, it's basically the same. If I did this, it would mean it's the same as 7. Then the word equals 7. Does that make sense? Because if I did only one equal sign, it would mean I'm assigning it a value. That's why we use either the 2 equal signs or just 1 exclamation point and an equal sign. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, just one second. Okay, ready. Can I share?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, your raise was much. I just used the break and continue thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Tried to do it on OneNote and I messed up some other things. And by the way, I just discovered that you cannot do this. Like it won't work. So I have to put it on the F string essentially, right?
I don't think that's not why it's working. I don't think it's upper is a thing. It's just I think it's dot upper and then parentheses. That might be why. I think you need to put parentheses at the end.
Really?
I think so.
Wait, so the method is upper.
Oh, it's upper might work, but I think you need to put like the parentheses at the end, like open parentheses, close parentheses. Like look at what I sent in the chat. See how it says dot upper and then a parentheses.
Just one
That-
second. Just one sec. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
that
got
might be why I think. Yeah, it's always the little things.
it. So instead of here, I should put it like here.
You can put it wherever you want. I don't think it matters. I'm just saying. There we go. See how it has the 2 parentheses at the end? That's what completes. Yeah, don't delete that. You need that. Those 2 at
Oh.
the end. Yeah, exactly.
Got
That's. But you can put it in slice character too. It really doesn't matter.
it. Okay. So essentially here, a length is 7. These are placeholders, I 0 and 1.
Mhm.
While I is less than n, so while 0 is less than 1, run this loop, and essentially there's an if statement here with an else. If the length of characters equals 7, then break, and then we'll print. So we'll stop the loop entirely, and then we'll print out this
Mhm.
sliced character. So it gets. So here it essentially says is get the first 5 characters and then subtract 2. So you get the middle ones, the 3 essentially. The middle 3 characters. And then print them. Else if the else if like that doesn't support this if function, else this string is now 7 characters, please enter a new string, continue. And so I will continue the loop. But
Okay.
your code was so clean that is like, yeah, it was just way shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
Oh,
works. Keep in mind.
Yeah,
It does. Yeah, you were saying?
yeah, it works. And like, yeah, but like there was no need for placeholders, and I just had to write like place while
Mhm.
and word not
Yeah.
used. Yep. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm just trying to make you guys like I know it's hard to remember some of these things, so if you have to write less, for the better, Okay, we can go over question 4 now. If that's okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Here it is. This one's pretty simple. Or it should be, hopefully. So just show the pattern below using a for loop. The pattern are these things you see here. So this is essentially the question. You just print those out basically using a for loop. I'm gonna give you guys till 6:20. Yeah, 6:20. If anyone finishes before then, let me know. All right.
Can you paste in the chat, please? My bad. Thank you. How do you make it reverse again?
What do you mean by reverse?
Like the range.
Oh, just think about not usually it starts from 0, right? So think about starting it from you can either think about starting it from some other point that's not 0, or you can think about what you're printing. I know that's kind of confusing, but I can't give you like the whole answer.
Think about what?
Think about first off, think about what you're printing,
Uh-huh.
right? And also think about in the range what it could start and what it could end with, right? Usually it starts with 0,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to start with 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have to reverse it, right?
I don't know what you mean by reverse, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. If what you mean is like starting from 5, is that what you mean? And then going up
Yes.
to 0?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so just think about where the range is starting, first of all. Like what is I gonna start off as? Does that make sense?
Got it.
Yeah, okay. There's several ways to do this, but
Oh, okay, got it.
Jesus, I have a question. It's about the other problem though.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
put it on my thing, right? I tried it out, and then it gives me the right answer, but it continue repeating like, please enter a string. So isn't it supposed to stop and not like repeat it again?
Yeah. Can I see your code? Let me.
I put the same one that
Oh,
you
the same one. All
try
right.
can you try it again in your thing and see
Yeah.
if it's better? Maybe I did put something wrong.
Hold on. It worked for me. So what you put as like the inputs for the word?
Um, I think my thing is not. I don't know what's happening, but I think it was because I didn't put the len. I think I forgot to put the len, and maybe
Oh,
that
okay.
might be why. Yeah, I'm gonna try it again, but I think it's not why.
Jesús,
Dime a ver.
¿qué tal? ¿Cómo vas?
Review session right now.
Yeah, you need help?
We got two more questions. So you can like you can help if they have questions and things like that if you want.
People have, man, the professor told me that we were gonna do like the review sessions, and since it was 2:30, he said you could have take lead on it.
Yeah.
I said I would help around, but yeah, if there's anyone that I don't know, if you separated between break rooms.
Yeah. If you guys have any like super specific questions for a problem after this, you can talk to Emilio and he should be able to help you too. All right, do we need more time? Or are we good?
I'm all
I'm gonna-
set.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, do you want me to say what
Oh,
my
yeah.
code is, or I was just saying we're almost out of time.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm gonna have you share your code actually this time. So let me make you a co-host. Um, yeah, let me stop sharing. Go ahead. I think you should be able to host too. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, so I just did created a variable count equals 6. Then I said for I in range 1 to 6, the output is going to equal count minus I times the star and making it like a string, or yeah, and then printing the output.
That's 10 out of 10. That's beautiful code. That's literally the answer right there. Does anyone have questions about what she did? There's definitely other ways to do this, but there's like probably the simplest way to understand it, I would say.
Yeah, can you copy, put in the chat? Thanks.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to what I did. The only thing I did different is that I did for I in range to 5, so it went from 0 to 5 instead of 1 to 6. But either one works.
Is there a reason people do I for it, or is it just a random variable that's assigned?
I is the variable. People usually use I because it like means index. So for things like these, it's kind of simple. But you can put it. I'm pretty certain you can put whatever you want in there, and it'll work.
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want.
Yeah. Does anyone have questions?
The only thing I would say, just be like, not too nitty gritty, but count should be capitalized.
No, it shouldn't. Wait.
Isn't it a constant?
I think
Yeah.
some people do that. It's kind of like it's not like a have to do, right? It's
Yeah,
more of
you're
like
right. Yeah, I would
it's-
capitalize it. But
yeah, it's like a formality,
yeah,
right?
if I'm being like super picky, if I was being super picky, which your professor won't be, I would just have you write 6 instead of count. Like you don't even need a variable for count. Because it's not changing, right? But I think you'd get on 100 on this problem if you submitted it the way it is. Okay, so you don't have to change nothing. Good. Are we ready for number 5?
Oh, sorry, just one note on that previous code. So if you wanted to include the, oh wait, no worries, no worries.
Okay.
Because technically you could use the count inside the range function.
Yes. I don't know. Have you guys gone over that at all? Kind of guess not.
My class has done that.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, Mario, that's what I meant, or what you would do if you wanted to reverse something. There's like a third thing you can put on the range function to like tell it, is it gonna increment, decrement, and by how much? So if you put like -1, it would decrement. If you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I did something similar. Like I caught your cue. I did like for I in range 9, 4 minus 1, and then I used the variable called n times. And
Yeah.
that n times equals I minus 4, and then print n times the
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. We have one more, and this one should be easier than the ones we've done. Okay. Let me copy the code. And I'll put it in the chat straight away so I don't forget. Okay.
Sorry for that.
It's not you, you're good. All right, here it is. It's question number 5. It's the last one. Oh. Little advice here, by the way. Just remember what I said about if it's saying keep asking, right? Just remember that.
Can you use, perhaps I'm giving it away, but can I submit something in private chat?
Go ahead.
You're muted.
I was just responding to one of the questions in chat, so I can go over some other keywords afterwards. And can you use or for while loops? I believe you can use or for while loops. I think
Okay.
you How much time do we think we need? 3 minutes, 4 minutes? I'm gonna say 3 minutes. So 6:38. We'll go over the problem. Okay, go ahead.
I think I wrote a good code. I think. I didn't use PyCharm, but I think I wrote a good code.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. All right, 1 more minute. All right, I'll be going over it this time, and then whoever wants to share can share. Okay. So, and someone asked about keywords. When I'm doing this problem, the first thing I'm thinking is, what is it asking me, right? So, like I said, it wants a sum of input numbers, and it's telling me keep asking the user to input any number, calculate the current sum until the sum is over 100 or the user entered more than 5 characters. So just from there, I know, okay, it's asking me to keep track of numbers, so I need a loop, right? And the condition that it wants me to hit every time to continue that loop is keep going unless the sum goes over 100 or the user puts more than 5 characters. So from there, I know loop, the condition of the loop, and I know I need variables for the sum and for count, right? And yeah, keep track on how many numbers the user entered. So that would be counts. So any idea on how I would start this problem based on what I said?
I have the idea, but there was just a lot of syntax errors when I submitted
Okay.
it.
That's
But I corrected in PyCharm, but if I could show it at the end,
okay.
the essentially I did some number equals 0 and count equals 0.
Yes, very good. There we go, because we need to keep track of both of those. Very good. All right. Anyone else wanna chime in? We already have the 2 variables that we're gonna keep track of. And it's saying keep asking the user to input any number. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. So what I'm thinking is obviously while loop. And what's the condition that I want? I want this message to pop up only if the sum is still less than 100 and the count is still less than 5. So that's what I'm thinking. So what would I do here? I would do a sum is less than or equal to 100. And does anyone else know what else I would write here besides sum? No? Okay.
Down.
Yeah, there we go. Woo! Yeah. So then we have count. We're saying count is less than 5.
I did it exactly like you. Let's go.
There we go. Yeah. A lot of people do get confused, and I thought you would because you asked me about or. Um, and I get why it sounds confusing because even the question is telling you do these and it says or, right? But we need to think about under what conditions am I looping again and again, right? And it's both when sum is less than or equal to 100 and when the count is less than 5. If it reaches either one of those, we break that loop, right? So that's why I would use and not anything else. So then what are we gonna do inside that loop? Any idea?
Yeah, I put like number
Okay.
equals float input. Please enter a number.
Great. Anyone else know what else you would write? We have the condition, we have the question it's asking. So what else do we need here? What two things do we need so that we're not stuck endlessly on this loop?
We need to update the variables.
There we go, exactly. So for one, count. I believe you can write it like this. Count plus equals to 1. This is basically the same as writing this count plus 1. You can do either one. And then update the other one, which is just a total, right? So total equals total plus number.
Is it important the order of operations? Like I put, yeah,
I'm trying to think.
I put like count under total.
I don't think it matters. I want to say it doesn't matter, so don't worry about it too much. Cause it's all under the same while loop, right? So okay. So afterwards, all we gotta do is print, right? If you entered now numbers, the total is total. There you go. All right, so let's try this compared to one of these. Got one. Whoa, hold on. The total's not defined. Oh, it's because I did some. That's my bad. Some. Count is okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So that's basically how you do it. Does anyone have questions about this problem? This is the last one, by the way.
So you start like making sum equal to 0 and count equal to 0.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused about that.
So the reason I start with sum equals 0 and count equals 0 is so that I have something here for that loop, right? When you're doing this problem, how many numbers are you inputting at the start, right? 0, because you don't have any. What sum would you have? 0, because you don't have any. If you don't initialize these, then you're gonna get an error with these two, because they're not worth anything. They're just words. Does that make sense? So that's why you initialize them.
And so in the example we have, like I saw 100. Like why we get 15 here?
Oh, I did this example.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah,
Okay.
this sample round 2. If I did this one, it would give me 100.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me try that actually. 50, 31, 20. There we go. So always when you're like putting a variable in a condition, you need to make sure that the variable represents something. You can't just put sum if I didn't make sum equal to anything, because it won't know what I'm referring to. So that's why we have sum equals 0, count equals 0.
Would it be a placeholder though? Wouldn't it still work?
Without it, I don't think so, because then
Because
what
if you if you put I, it would still work, right?
I put I? What you mean?
Like, just run it.
Oh, you want me to get rid of this?
No, like run it like normally.
Oh,
without-
okay. Yeah,
Okay, doesn't work. Okay.
yeah, because it doesn't really mean anything to Python at that point. So any like loop that uses like numbers, you initialize, right? But yeah, that's why. Any more questions? Otherwise, I'll just have Mario share his. You want to share yours still, Mario, or no?
It's essentially it's the same thing.
Okay, okay, yeah.
But I just did plus equal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I usually do that. I just did it for clarity, but that's pretty good. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want me to go over? Because we did 5 questions, which I think is a good amount.
So
I just have one question. It's
Yeah.
kind of, so how does the phrase please enter number come, like when you run this code, like
Yeah.
please enter number comes first, but like there's not even like an input code like before any of the things. So how does that pop up first?
Wait, are you asking me why this is like appearing before, like, say,
Yeah.
count, something like that? Okay. The reason why is because input is the same as print, right? It's printing something for you to type. Count
Yeah.
is just like a variable stored. Like if I did print count, it would appear. It would definitely appear. See how it says 1 right here?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so whatever has that input, like, okay, yeah, nothing else shows up except
Yeah,
the thing.
exactly. Yeah. So anything that's input or print, it's gonna appear in your program. If it's not, it's just running in the background, basically.
So, okay. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
also question. The professor gave us I don't recall, perhaps some people in my class recall, but the professor gave us examples of like what would 5 points question be and what would 10 points question be. Would this be an example of a 5-point question or a 10-point question?
That's a really good question, and that I can't answer. Who's your professor?
Um
Freidenberg?
Freidenberg, yeah.
I want to say for exam 1, this might be a 10-point question.
That's
This
okay.
might be a question, yeah. Something to remember too for exams is that, look, if you're writing like over 20 lines of code, you're doing too much. I'm gonna just say that right now. Like if you're writing over 20 lines, might need to like rethink what you're doing, because usually the coding examples that they want are pretty short and concise. So like anything over 20 lines, restart, but yeah. Any other questions?
I was just wondering if you can put the answer for the first problem, because I wanted
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah, got that. Give me 1 second. I'm actually gonna send it in the chat too.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. That one is like, I'll say this, that one's like pretty complicated, but it's definitely not because of like coding wise, It's just, yeah.
A lot of like
There's
calculation.
a lot of calculations. I think your program 1 for your classes, or the project 1, is pretty similar. Or like you have to like a lot of math. So for those, I would just advise like write it down with some sample number and test it out. And then you can figure out the equations. And see, I'm also gonna leave it here.
Like any advice for like remembering syntax? Because I kind of like effed a lot of the syntax
Yeah.
writing on OneNote.
So 2 things. 1, syntax is important, but don't worry too much about it, because professors are usually pretty lenient if they kind of get an idea of what you're. 2, what you're doing, which is like doing it on your computer, is good. I personally wrote on a whiteboard when I was practicing for my exams, and that helped me.
Mhm.
And
how would you like practice? Like how would you practice for this
Yeah.
stuff?
Okay, so there's Your professor should have sent you like another sample question list, which is 15 questions instead. Did you guys get that one? If not, I can send it. Um,
And the regular quiz is 4 questions or 10 questions, or how much?
I think the regular quiz might be like 10. I think it's around 10, depending on your professor. But yeah, there's like another review questions that you can practice, which are literally 15 questions. They're probably slightly harder than the exam. So if you can do those like on a whiteboard, I feel like that'd be pretty good practice. for you.
Could you link that in the chat?
Yes, I will do that.
Can you put the answer like smaller so we like I can see everything?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Can you
Yeah.
see it now?
Yeah, thank you.
Let me get the new questions. People think, how do I share this? This is crazy how they didn't share this with you. Let's
I
hope
got
it.
shared another like practice quiz doc, but it was only like 10 questions. It wasn't 50 like you said.
Oh. No, the one I have is 15. Well, I would use that anyways. I'm gonna try to share it. I don't know if it'll work. I hope it does. Because it's telling me like only people that have access to it already can use it. Let's see. Chats. Oh, I sent this to Mario by mistake. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, let me know if that sample quiz works for you guys. If it doesn't, if you drop your email, I'll just send it to you like directly to your email after.
I need access.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I thought. That's great. Yeah, so I can probably share it like through email. If you all just like give me your emails after this session, I'll send it to all of you. So just like DM me on Zoom or just put it in the main chat. Perfect. But yeah, that's probably the best way to practice because like trying to memorize things probably not gonna work. I'm not gonna lie, not for these quizzes. Okay, let me start sharing.
Are you posting the recording to the Zoom somewhere or?
Yes, I am. It'll be on the CIS Sandbox website in a few hours. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
anytime.
Do you have any more keywords you can go over? Like how earlier you said if it says keep asking, that just that's going to be a while loop.
Yes, just give me 1 second. It says you guys don't have permission to see this, which is not good. I'm just gonna save your emails and I'll ask my or I'll ask Freidenberg because you guys should be able to see all of this. And I'll go over the keywords in just 1 more second if there's any I can think of. Oh, maybe I can download it and then send it to all of you. Yeah, that's definitely gonna work. Okay, let me try this. All right. I sent an email to everyone who sent it. It should have the Python thing, hopefully. Like the 15 question script. Just let me know if that works or not. Okay, yeah, so I'm just gonna go over some, oh, it's still sending, so give it a second. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna go over some like keywords from these problems that I think I would think about. If it mentions like length or anything like that, think about like obviously like the length len attribute that we spoke of, right? So yeah, if it's talking about like enter a string with length 7, then already you know like okay, I have to use that function, right? That's something that can help you. And if it's talking about characters in any way, slicing. Think about slicing. It's saying like based on the word, give me a, a certain number of characters. I would think immediately slicing. Some of them will be like pretty like clear on what they want. Like this one says use a for loop. You might get a problem just like that. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is definitely still the keep track of whatever. Who is trying to join? Hold on. Yeah, the biggest thing is just think about the while loop part with the keep track of something and whatnot. And yeah, if we had more problems, then I could like show some more keywords, but definitely just keep doing this onto whatever condition. Length, characters, those 3 words are pretty important, I would say, to like the solution you want. And if it's talking about like several things at once, like you all did in question 1, think about if statements. But only if it's like there's no repeating. And in this parking lot example, there's no talking about like, oh, do this again and again, right? So then you're thinking, I don't have to use a loop here. I do not. If it's mentioning like, do this again until some sort of condition, think loops. That's what I would say. I went on a rant, low-key, but does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is still sending. What's going on? Hold on. Let me try again. I'm gonna stop sharing screen for now. Okay, now it should work, hopefully. What? Okay. I believe it's sent. So check your emails and you should have gotten the script with the 15 questions, hopefully. If it doesn't work, I'll just talk to Friedenberg and see what's up with that. Are your quizzes tomorrow for some of you or no?
I think you cannot share the. I think you cannot share a Python thing on Outlook. But let me check.
That's how I got it though. So that's I don't know if they like took off the permission.
Mine works. It just opens like a OneDrive file and shows all the questions.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So if you just like download that and put it on your PyCharm, you should be able to see all the questions. But those are literally like the questions you should practice with like a notebook or a whiteboard preferably, but you don't have to. And I think if you guys do that, you'll be pretty set for the exam, to be honest. But yeah, I think we're good. Oh, more people. Perfect. You guys can leave if you want to. I'm staying here till 7:30 and Emilio's here till later. So if you have any questions, you want to know the problems here, or you need help with anything, just let us know. Otherwise, have a great night, all of you. Okay.
Thank you.
Jesus. I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Oh wow, this recording thing is crazy. How do I stop it?